I've heard it said many times before that no website is 100% compliant. And my reaction is always the same. What is your basis for saying that? We know that best practices for ADA compliance are WCAG 2.1 AA conformance and posting a conspicuous accessibility statement. And we know these are best practices because these are what the DOJ has mandated in their settlements resulting from private enforcement actions. And the DOJ, or Department of Justice, is the regulatory and enforcement agency behind the Americans with Disabilities Act. So when people say that we can't make a website 100% ADA compliant, I always wonder what exactly do you mean? Where are you getting this from, that compliance is impossible? And so my presumption is that this has to do with the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines and that it can be difficult and lengthy to meet these guidelines. So we have WCAG 2.1 AA as best practice, and there are 50 success criteria for these technical standards. And this basically means there are 50 requirements to be in conformance. So we need to account for these on our website and resolve any outstanding issues. And the way in which we do that is an audit, and then we have remediation. And then so in the audit, we're finding the issues, and then remediation, we are fixing the issues. And so we just work one by one through our website. Now, are some websites more difficult than others? Yes. Can this be a lengthy process? Yes. But there are many websites that are actually WCAG 2.1 AA conformant, and they also have an accessibility statement. So they would be considered ADA compliant by the DOJ. The DOJ is, again, the regulatory and enforcement agency behind the ADA. So it would be that this is what they are requiring. This is what they are mandating for various entities that they deem their websites are not in compliance with the ADA. So this is what you would do if you wanted to be ADA compliant. And so this concept of there being a percentage of ADA compliant always always confounds me. What is the percentage? And then we have people saying different percentages, whether it's 90% or 100%. What do you actually mean exactly is what I'm always curious about. And again, I think this comes down to the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, but assigning any percentage of conformance here it's really that would be a really raw percentage, because the different success criteria, there can be different success criteria that are even invoked on a website. So some success criteria may not be applicable, and some success criteria may impact accessibility more than others. So assigning a percentage, I understand the reason why people do it, but it does cause a misalignment in understanding the exact situation. And so I think the percentages also result from scans, but it's important to remember that scans are very limited. While helpful, they are limited. And so even if we had a theoretical 100% score on a scan, it doesn't mean that our website is 100% accessible. It just means that what can be detected through automation, no errors resulted from these different rule sets that comprise the automation. So that's important to know about scans. And this really comes back to, I keep seeing this, people keep saying it, there's no such thing as 100% compliance. And really it's not, it's very simple, but it's not easy to do, right? This requires a lot of work. You have to have developers, designers, and content editors all working in conjunction, particularly or especially for websites that have more interactive elements. There's various types of content, more complex websites. Yes, I will grant you that it can be a lengthy process. It can be a difficult process, especially if it's a disjointed one where you have one group who is doing the audit and then another group who is doing the remediation. Yes, and we can have even issues that remain even after the remediation takes place, because we might have developers who are unfamiliar with accessibility working off the audit. And so, yes, when there's a disjointed process, it makes conformance that much more difficult. So I can understand that point of view, but as far as not being 100% ADA compliant, my question would be, what exactly are you referring to? And so getting back to here, this is where we just need to take a regimented approach to these 50 success criteria, and we need to work through those. Now, the way in which you work through the success criteria very much affects your exposure to risk. So if you just work down the success criteria as they appear in the WCAG documentation, then you're not prioritizing according to what the plaintiff's lawyers are going to look at. The issues the plaintiff's lawyers are looking at or claiming in litigation are going to be different from those success criteria. So we want to approach this with prioritization in mind, genuinely improving our accessibility as we work through the issues, but doing so in a way that reduces our risk. So we know that images missing alt text is the number one accessibility issue claimed in litigation. We also know missing form field labels, another key issue that is commonly comes up in complaints filed in court. So, and then we have a third issue, which is keyboard navigability. So these are all accessibility issues we know are commonly claimed. So we want to resolve these on our website first. So as we're working through accessibility, the way in which we approach accessibility very much matters. We want to be strategic. We want to prioritize issues, and we want to take care of those issues first that are most likely to lead to litigation. Because as we work through these different issues, and by the way, there are about 15, let's just call it 15 plus issues that plaintiff lawyers commonly recycle through in their complaints. As we work through them, we make our website less and less attractive to more and more plaintiffs lawyers. So when we do that, eventually we get to a point where plaintiff lawyers really don't want to target our website because there are so many other websites with more accessibility issues, more obvious and glaring accessibility issues. They want to move on to another website. But of course, we ultimately do want to be at WCAG 2.1 AA conformance. So this is why I always recommend you start with these 15 issues. And then once you get through these 15 issues, then you continue on down to full conformance and work your way to best practices for ADA compliance this way. So this is what you need to do. And this is how you can work towards 100% compliance. Is this possible? Yes, it is. But you need to know exactly what you're doing. You need to be precise. You need to be detailed. And you need to make sure that remediation is successfully completed. And to find out what these 15 issues are, this is what I have centered my ADA compliance course around. The ADA compliance course tells you exactly what issues are being claimed in litigation. These are the most commonly claimed issues, and they are prioritized by lessons inside the course. Inside the lessons, I tell you exactly how to find and fix these issues on your website. This course is really step-by-step instructions that you can give to your digital team and tell them, work through this course exactly as it recommends. The ADA compliance course is available at adacompliance.net, and I will link to that in the YouTube description.